I'll open up.
Sounds good. With that, we'll go into questions.
No, I'll open up. I'll open up. You good? We good?
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Just obviously, I know you guys saw that we traded for C.J. Henderson today. Very excited to have him come be a Carolina Panther. Went through the process last year, getting ready in the draft, evaluating him. He's someone we seriously considered at our pick. I think he has a tremendous upside, and excited to get him here and help this team. I want to make sure I thank Dan Arnold. That was obviously a very difficult thing to do, moving on from a great player, a great leader, a great teammate like Dan. I know he'll have tremendous success in Jacksonville. He's really a special person. At the end of the day, this just comes down to position and just feeling like as we move down the stretch, having a young corner with his talent to go along with the room that we already have is an opportunity that we're excited about. So, with that, I'll answer any questions you guys have.
And like always, guys, please use the raise your hand button, and we'll go to Joe Person with the first one.
Hey, Matt, I don't know if y'all have announced this yet or not, but any word on IR for JC and Christian?
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. Christian won't go on IR. I would expect that we would put JC on here either at some point this week. Scott will handle that, but JC will obviously have surgery and be out for a while. And Christian, we don't see him in that light.
Do you have a better feel for his timetable after seeing the diagnostics?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I think it's all going to depend on how quickly he comes around in terms of recovering from it. So it'll be like anything else. I'll just trust the doctors and trainers to tell me when he's ready to go.
We'll go to David Newton with the next question. Dave, you're on
Sorry
mute.
about that. I had to unmute. Can you clarify when you say JC out for a while, you feel like this is season ending or?
It potentially could be. He could come back, later in the season. So I think, with JC, I think we have to be really smart about bringing him back. Making sure that he's healthy, making sure that his return to play is done, at the right way. So I just can't predict that at this point. So I'm sure knowing JC Horn, like his mindset will be that, hey, I'm coming back to play, and then if he's ready, he's ready, and if he's not, he's not. We won't put him in harm's way. We'll let the doctors and everyone tell us when he's ready to go.
And how much did this trade, in your mind, have to do with the win now mentality?
I don't know what win now. I mean, we try to win every game. C.J. Henderson's someone that we've liked a long time. So, I think anytime you have a chance to get a top 15 draft pick from the year before, it's just very unique. So, as I said, we did so much work on him last year because, we were looking for defensive players. And this is, in that year's draft that, this to me, I don't know if anything matters other than just, hey, we have a chance to get a corner. And if you go back and look from our first game, like our starting nickel from that first game, the five guys are out there playing DB. There's only two guys left, Dante and Chin. So, JB's banged up. JC obviously is banged up. Miles went down in the first ball game. So a lot of guys are stepping up, and we've been, we know we're going to have to play a lot of nickel, a lot of dime. So we need as many guys as we can get.
We'll go to Josh.
What about Evan Cooper? Go ahead. Evan Cooper, what was his relationship with CJ?
I like Coops. I think Coop recruited him. Obviously, Coop's known him. So last year, we leaned on him a little bit last year in the draft process as we got to know JC. Actually, because we got to know CJ. But I think all of us had a chance to really get to know him, and uniquely for us, watching the Jaguars versus the Texans in that first game, we got a chance to watch him play. So, like any young player, we're going to bring him here and just try to develop him and ingratiate him into our way of doing things.
We'll go to Josh.
Matt, schematically, do you feel like CJ could step in and play on Sunday? Like, obviously physical and all that stuff aside, just looking at it from a scheme standpoint.
I don't know that. I think we were very confident going into this game, knowing that we have guys have been with us. Dante, getting AJ back now, I think is going to be really huge. I thought Rashawn Melvin did a really nice job last week. Keith Taylor, Stanley. So to me, this isn't like a hey, Band-Aid, get him in here type of a deal. This is hey, it's an opportunity that came open, and we took it. And so, if it's to me, there's no rush. If it's 1 week, if it's 2 weeks, if it's 3 weeks, we're just going to bring CJ along like we bring the rest of these guys along.
All right, we'll go to Scott Fowler, followed by Will Kunkel.
Yes, Matt, I'd like to hear a little bit more about him as a player, since obviously you studied him a lot. So, what does he do the very best? What makes him so intriguing?
Yeah, I think he's an outstanding bump and run cover corner. Great change of direction skills. Hasn't played at least in college, hadn't played a ton of off. But even now, when you watch him now playing, really excellent play in bump and run. Can sit on routes. From my experience with him, really good football IQ, football intelligence. So, that's why as we kind of carve out that role for him and for all the guys, all of our guys do something. They all do a lot of things well. But they all do something different. And so I think Phil does a nice job of putting those guys in the right spot. So if he can come here, if he can help us in the dime, help us in the nickel, whatever Phil and those guys feel like is best. But I think the biggest thing, Scott, was just his cover ability. He's got that ability.
Thank you.
Matt, just two quick ones. Is he good to go to play from a standpoint? I don't think he played against Arizona due to a groin injury. Is he healthy?
We'll physical him when he gets here. We obviously talked to them down there, and there was no concern. So there'll be a physical when he gets here.
And then how much did Tommy Tremble? I know it was only one play, but that play just kind of make you feel comfortable in regards to being able to trade Dan Arnold.
Yeah, I mean, I think seeing the way Ian's come along, seeing some of the things that Tommy's done, obviously, Dan's had production, and so that you can't diminish that. But I think we see Tommy being someone that's going to continue to ascend his role here, and can be a guy that can do some of those same things.
Let's go to Darren Gant, followed by Brett Jensen.
Matt, CJ and JC both have kind of similar frames, bigger corners. Are there other similarities between the two of them, including temperament, maybe?
I can't speak. I can't say that they have the same temperament, because I've get such inside information on JC because I've been with him. Right? I mean, he's a tremendous competitor. I just think, as you said, both big frames, both guys that played in the SEC, get up, can play bump and run, can cover. So I think that's probably what they have in common.
Was that part of the calculation though, because they're kind of similar players, almost one for one in that regard?
Not necessarily. I mean, JC's a great player, young player. I obviously hated losing him. To me, I don't know if you can ever have enough guys on defense who can affect the game, rushing the passer, going sideline to sideline, or covering. So, just want to make sure we have as many good players as possible on the defensive side.
Matt, I want to follow up on Scott Fowler's question about what he brings to the table a little bit in terms of what was it that maybe Jacksonville wasn't getting out of him or didn't like, or wasn't using him right, that they were willing to get rid of a first-round pick so quickly, and what areas do you think that you can help him improve from where he was at?
And to be honest with you, but I don't know. I don't know anything about their situation there, what they're going through, or what he was like with them. Dick Vermeil told me years ago, just for me, this is me, I'm not speaking about anyone else. For me, Matt Rhule, Coach Vermeil said, be patient with great talents, because that's why you have a job. And so I have no debate at all about CJ's talent. Where he is now as a player, I don't know those things because, obviously I haven't been around him. I watched him on tape in the preseason and I watched him on tape in the season. To me, it's an opportunity for us to go get a top 15 pick for 2.5 more years. So I think it's just not sort of a short-sighted thing, a long-term thing, and hopefully that we can get the best out of him. Our job as coaches is always to get our players to play their best football, whether that's Shaq Thompson, who's a veteran player, or whether that's a rookie player. We've got to reach guys and help them play their best.
Let's Let's go to Jonathan Alexander, followed by Jonathan Jones.
Man, I just have a quick question about Tour. Do you expect him to be available Sunday? And also, are you all signing Rashawn Melvin from the practice squad?
Yeah, we have not ruled Yetur out, but I would say it's at this point it looks like it's doubtful that he'd be ready for this week. Probably another week after that. I know Scott has plans. I think obviously Rashawn's part of our plans. I don't know if he's announced those yet, but Rashawn's someone that I thought has really helped us so far, and look forward to getting him on the roster and playing.
Hey, Matt, bit of a unique situation you kind of maybe get once a year, being able to see your opponent, on broadcast the week leading up when you don't have an actual game. How does that, I know that happened last year when you guys, I think, played the Bucks the week before they had played the Saints and you guys were at home or not playing at that time. How does that impact your preparation, if at all, heading into this week?
Well, it means, especially on defense where they have a new defensive coordinator in Dan Quinn, there's only 2 games for us to go off of. So, we're working as if those are the only 2 games we have, and obviously we have a chance tonight to go, watch them. I mean, I think probably everyone in this building probably watched Hard Knocks. We feel like we have a good feel for the team. You watch them on tape. They're really well put together. Obviously a chance to play against great players like Zeke and Dak Prescott, and, obviously, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, there's a bunch of great players, let alone, a tremendous offensive line. And defensively, they have a bunch of difference makers over there as well. Micah Parsons playing a bunch of different positions. Diggs is, gets production on the ball. So we feel like we've studied them. Tonight will just be, a chance for us to watch in person and see, as they continue to put, their identity together as a team, who they are. So I'm sure most of our players will watch it. We'll watch it as a staff. And then, get the tape in tomorrow and grind on it and hopefully have a great plan.
I know that you won't divulge anything you may have gotten from Hard Knocks, but did you guys get anything from Hard Knocks? Seems like they've sort of clamped down on access and what they show in recent years.
Yeah, I don't think we got anything. Just kind of one of those traditions during training camp where you get to whatever it is, Tuesday night or Wednesday night, and you have a chance to turn on another team and see someone else going through what you're going through. So. No, I mean, to me, I think really at the end of the day, it comes down to the tape, as we watch it and recognizing that, Dak is back. They're leading the NFL at 1 or 2 in total yards. I mean, they've been really explosive on offense, so it'll be quite a challenge.
Thanks.
Go to Steve Reed, followed by Joe Person.
Hey, Matt, with not putting Christian on injured reserve, would that suggest that maybe you're hoping to get him back before that 3-week window that you would have missed, if he was on IR? I mean, I guess what I'm saying is could he return in, a week or 2 before maybe what you expected or so?
Yeah, pending how he feels, and how healthy he is. But obviously, if he goes on IR, he's out for a minimum of three games. So, we feel like there's hope that he'll be back before then, or at least after 3 games, heading into the 4th. So.
Matt, will AJ, do you go into this week planning for him to be the starter opposite Dante?
I plan on him playing. I really don't probably want to give away too much of what we're going to do, but I think we'd still be smart with AJ's return. AJ's done a really nice job getting himself in shape, getting himself ready to go. Mentally, he's been in it. It was great to have him in the building. But I still think he has to get out there and practice a little bit, and figure out what role he's got.
Sorry about that.
Also, Matt, and you mentioned not necessarily being in a rush where CJ's concerned, but I mean, is it possible that that he's on the field for you Sunday at Dallas?
I certainly think it's possible. I mean, I just haven't even talked to him yet, so I don't know the extent of, his groin. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. Obviously I can see the tape. I guess my point is like, he's just a young player that's on his second team in 2 years. He just needs to come here and just become one of the guys and get around our guys. And, at the end of the day, like, I have a lot of confidence in Dante and AJ and Rashawn and Key. This isn't about, hey, there's a problem. This is just, again, this is a really talented player that we had held in really, really high regard. And, he was available, and we had to make a hard decision. But to me, this isn't like a right now, this week conversation. This is really the next 2 years, 3 years. Again, on defense, as you can see, it's when you have a bunch of good players, it's fun to watch. And so hopefully it's just one more guy in that group.
We have time for a few more. Let's go to Mike Solarte.
Thanks. Hey, Matt. First one I have for you, you mentioned that you'll be watching tonight and have an opportunity to watch. Is this a beer and wings night for the staff, watch it all together kind of thing, or will you guys kind of have to be separate? And I mean, what's the plan there?
I don't think we'll watch it together. I think everyone will kind of be, our offense and defense, our offensive guys, they kind of gather in groups and watch film, and then our defense, they kind of all meet in one room. And then Coach Snow, when he gets tired of all the young guys, he goes in his office and closes the door. So they'll probably have the game on in the defensive room, and the young guys, quality control guys, will be breaking the film down probably off the tape as best they can. So, so no beer and wings tonight, I don't think.
And then, well, that's unfortunate for you guys. Coming off of the third win, you're 3-0, and of course the attrition rate being what it was with the injuries from this last one. What is basically the mood of everybody? Because losing a guy like McCaffrey can be a jolt. Losing a guy like JC can be a jolt. So basically the mental state of everybody trying to get beyond that and move forward. I know the trade is part of it to help kind of shore up a gap there, but I mean, what is everybody kind of feeling right now?
I hope all they're thinking about right now is they're watching. The players are watching the film right now, trying to correct from last game and then get ready for next week. I said it the other day, and I mean this like sincerely. Like, everyone loves all the guys here, but like everybody's got a role to play. Everybody's got a job to do, and so the best thing we can do is everybody not worry about other guys on the team or anything like that. Just everybody focus on their job. From me to Scott to all the players and coaches, just everyone focus on what they're doing. And so I think the guys had a lot of energy walking around today. They're excited, for a chance to go out and play again. They had a couple days off. But, I just, for us, we're like immersed in it day by day. So when a guy goes down, there's not, there's just sort of like, hey, I'm thinking about you. You care about that guy as a brother, but you have a job to do. And that, I know that's what Christian wants us to do. That's what JC wants us to do. That's what JB wants us to do. They want us to go and try to go 1-0 this week against a really good Dallas team. So I think our guys have a great look about them. And again, to me, it's not about being 3-0. It's just about, hey, we're in game week now. Let's get ready to go play the Cowboys.
Is it tough to kind of divorce those emotions though and put that aside? Because maybe I didn't ask it the right way before, but I mean, trying to keep the personal from not getting into the way, I guess, is the hard.
No, yeah, I mean, I certainly, I certainly, like, my stomach aches when I see guys get hurt, and I, because like I said, I see everything that they do. It just, that can't be commensurate with their production. You know what I mean? Like, I can't feel, I'm not going to feel worse about a guy getting hurt because he's a great player compared to someone else. Because, we're trying to build a place here, and it's hard, right? Because it is a business, and you have to make tough decisions, but within the walls, when we work together day by day, you don't want players and coaches. You just want, there's just people, right? And so we want it as best we can to be people. And so, all these guys have hopes and dreams. They're trying to play their best football. They're trying to, take care of their families. They're trying to win. On a personal level, anytime someone gets hurt, man, it's miserable. It's gut wrenching. You see J.C. Horn, and it's some freak injury like that, breaks your heart, man. But it's also the same when I see Justin Burris. Now he'll be back in a couple of weeks, but I know everything. I see Justin Burris in here all the time working, trying to help us win. So it's how I feel about everybody and how they feel about each other. That being said, we have a game, and we gotta plow right through it, man. And so I think we've all saw last game, like, when we're not focused and when we're lining up off sides and having defensive penalties, like, we aren't a very good team. When we focus and lock in and everyone just does their job, we had a lot of success in the second half, especially, an offense that hasn't been great in the second half scored 17 points in the second half. So yeah, your point's well taken. I mean, on a personal level, yes, but professionally, everyone's got a role to do, a job to do. They just got to go do it.
Thanks.
We got time for one more. Let's go to Steve Reed.
Hey, Matt, at running back, I guess two-part question. Is Hubbard definitely going to start, and what things are you seeing out of him that he's doing well, and what things are you seeing out of him that he needs to improve upon?
I thought in the second half, I think he had a couple like 8, 9, 10-yard runs, maybe 2, maybe 3, caught a ball and kind of powered guys forward. I thought once like he got into a little bit of a rhythm, some of the concerns we've been working on with, not slipping, not falling. I felt like all of a sudden, a couple carries, a couple touches, he got in rhythm, had his legs up underneath him. You saw the explosiveness he has going around the left end. Those are all valuable things, he'll play a lot. Royce will play a lot. We have Spencer and Rodney on the practice squad, could elevate. We could always bring someone else in. We do like our guys, though. And Rodney played a lot of football for us last year. So, he just got banged up in the preseason. So we'll have to make good decisions over the next couple of days, game planning tomorrow and heading into Wednesday.
All right, that's going to do it. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.